So my attacker is being held in stage 1. And maybe from here, he either puts his hands on the ground, or he puts his hands on my chest, and he pushes himself straight up to a seated position. And now from here, this is the one knockout punch, right? We can't let that happen. Only one of these finishes us. So we can't let this happen. We have to immediately protect ourselves. So this is what we do. Good. That's it. That's it. Okay? This is stage 3. Stage 3. From stage 1, the attacker puts the hands on the ground, or maybe on my chest, and he pushes himself straight up. So since he's pushing himself anyway, I'm going to help him. Come back down one notch, please. As soon as I see that he puts the hands on the ground, which I can tell because he's no longer trying to punch me, or he puts the hands on the chest, which I can feel, and he starts to push himself back, I'm going to help him. I'm going to push him. Straight up, straight up. And as soon as I do, that space that's made, I just put my knees inside. Right? Now if I keep my hips down, he can lean over and he can still punch me. So I want to elevate my hips. Stage 3 is an extended hip and knee drive. Right? And of course the attacker's not going to be sitting back. Anyone who's actually attacking, he's going to be trying continuously to punch. That's how it's going to be. He's not going to just be leaning all the way back and hanging out waiting for an opportunity. When he sits up, it's so he can get the leverage to come over. Exactly. So I want to keep my hips up, and I want to be driving my knees into his chest forward, and I want to have my hands here. What does this look like? We just saw this recently. Do you remember? In the clinch, right? Against an aggressive opponent, when we're closing the distance, we cover our face like this to prevent ourselves from being punched, but we can see through. So as soon as the person puts the hands on the ground or on the chest and they sit up, I help them. 1, 2, knees in the chest, and then try to get my feet in the hips, right? It's this part of my foot, the instep here, and it goes alongside the hips right there. And I just lift my hips up and put the knees in. And as he leans to continue to punch, I don't want to stay here for long. Maybe only 3 punches maximum, 1 to 3 punches maximum. And then to bring him back in, I have to make sure that I'm covered. And look, I just coil my body and then drop him into stage 1. Okay? Simple. Always return to stage 1. Starting to see the pattern here. The closer they are, the safer we are. So as often as possible, we try and get back to stage 1. So from stage 1, the person puts the hands on the ground and sits up for a big punch. I help and I fill the space. Knees inside, hips off the ground, not down, off the ground, driving, extending the knees and the hips into him to keep him away. The face is covered so that I can see, and as he continues to lean, maybe only 1 or 3 punches, I stay here, and then look how I bring him back. I don't open and then he falls on me and I'm open wide for the punch or for him to jump over my legs, right? When we're in stage 1 and we move to stage 3, boom, right? What do? I coil my body in at the waist, right here. I coil him in and keep him close. When he's close, now I open and drop into stage 1. Make sense? Okay, let's get together and try. Okay, stage 3, a little more detail. A little more detail. We're in stage 1, and when the person sits up, make sure I help them. Expedite that process. If I wait for them to sit up, and then I struggle to put my knees in. Look, the whole time I'm getting punched. So help them, right? As soon as you push, you put the knees in. That's it. If the hips are down, or I'm letting him get too close, he can still punch me. I have to drive him away as far as possible and cover my face. When I drop him back in, I don't open here, and then the full weight of the punch comes down through my block. The block is better than nothing, but it still may not be enough for that kind of full force. That's what he wanted to do in the first place. So controlled descent, controlled descent. I'm in stage 3, right? And when he sits up and starts to lean forward, that's when I coil my waist here, right? I only coil if I feel his weight. When he leans forward, that's when I coil. Now I can return to stage 1. Okay, so the drill here is going to be this. You're going to start in stage 1, 5 punches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then he's going to sit up. Stage 3, 3 punches. 1, 2, 3. Return to stage 1. 5 punches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? That's cycle 1. 1, 3, 1. Right? Stage 1, stage 3, stage 1. Forget the 5. Just do 3 punches. It's a lot of stages. All right? Because now we're going to do stage 1, 3 punches. 1, 2, 3. Then stage 2. 3 punches. 1, 2, 3. Now stage 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I bring them back. Stage 1. Final 3 punches. 1, 2, 3. Okay? So, the stages are 1, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. All right? 1, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. Each stage, 3 punches. Make sure you transition smoothly and don't just drop him back in. Cool your body, retain his weight, and then replace stage 1. Make sense? Okay, let's go, guys.